Hey guys, this is Hell Hades. This is going to be another Raid Shadow Legends video. So guys, we have got an opportunity here to look at one of the new legendary champions. Probably the one which will have the most use out of all of the new drops of champions over the last month or so. So perhaps not the most exciting one. Like for me, Annie is the most exciting one. I'm going to do a guide on her over the next couple of days. But this is a champion that I think is the most usable, or should be. So I've been able to jump onto Nathan Allison's account. Thank you so much for letting me borrow the account. Thank you to everyone else as well. I've had tons of people say, do you want to jump on mine and have a look? So appreciate that. So Narma the Returned. Probably like the first decent clan boss champion we've had released as a legendary for a long time. I can't even think of the last one. We've had a few epics like Fane and a few other guys as well. But this feels like the first legendary that was built for clan boss. That we've had out for a while. So let's just have a quick look over a kit. We've got an A1, 40% chance to increase the duration of 3 random debuffs. Massive ability in clan boss. It's not as strong as like a warlord extend all debuffs or a vizier extend all debuffs a ton of times, but it is a really, really solid A1. Brilliant A1. We've got an A2 which, if booked out, 100% chance to place decrease attack, single target. Also heals all allies by 15% of this champion's HP. The heal increases by 2% for each poison. So if you can imagine, most clan boss fights, you're going to have decrease attack, decrease defense, weaken, maybe poison sensitivity. So that's like 4 standard debuffs that are out there, which gives you 6 spots for poison. 6 spots. So you get an extra 12% potentially healing here from stacking everything out with poison. And she could extend those poisons as well. So there's a good chance you're going to have all 6 of those up for most of the fight. Especially if you've got a counter-attack team or an ally attack team. So this ability here is awesome. Because what that means is, potentially here you've got a healer. If you think about the amount of healing you get from life steal sets, that type of thing. I mean, this champion is going to be healing every time she has a turn on this A2, 3 turns. So once, maybe it's not enough to replace life steal. You're going to be getting a heal. Let's call it 19k, 20k. Let's say you get her up to 50k HP and you're getting like a 20% heal. So you're getting a 10k heal, but per member of your team, once per rotation of the clan boss abilities. It's not enough, actually. It's not enough, which is a shame, because you either want it to be enough so you don't need a healer and you don't need lifesteal gear, or not. Pretty much. She will be enough to top up if you're running a Valk team. So Valk shield wears off, is gone. She heals, wears off, is gone. She heals. That works. If you're running without a Valk team, you probably need either a secondary heal or you need lifesteal gear on, or a leech. But it's still a nice passive to have. Nice passive here. Also, a 3-turn decrease attack means that you can have decrease attack on just with this champion. Just with this champion. It's a 100% chance to land, as long as you don't get a resist. You only need decrease attack on for 2 turns, actually, of the clan boss move. So this means that she can keep this on all the time, which is huge. The biggest challenge you've got with this, though, is if it gets resisted, which is like a 3% chance it will, you're out of the game. Like, you don't have another chance to land it. Whereas someone like an Altan or a Sepulchre, if they don't land it first time, you've got a chance to land it the next time. But I think this is pretty viable for a lot of people to have as the decrease attack mechanic. And you've then got poison sensitivity and poisons on the A3. Book this out, 4-turn cooldown. 100% chance to land if you book it. 3 poisons and poison sensitivity. This is a huge move. All of that for 3 turns as well. So, it's tons in a kit. But I tell you what, she loves reading. And she needs to read. Like, if she's not in the library, she's nowhere near as good. And she literally, like, she's getting out all the books. She's not returning the books. So you have to invest in this champion if you want to use her to her main abilities. Especially because at the base of these two, there's a lot of value in these cooldowns. Look at this. 2 extra turn cooldowns on these. This one, it's good to book, but these two, I feel like you need to book these two to get the use out of her. So Nathan is in Nightmare Clan Boss right now, about to reset. Nightmare Clan Boss, and he's hitting about 24 mil a key with this type of team. So we've got decreased attack, a poisoner, no decreased defense or weakening there, and a counter. So I think what we're going to do is we're going to sub out Sepulchre and sub out Sifi, throw Razin in, throw Narma in, and see what we do to this damage. I'm not going to re-gear all of the champions. I'm just going to gear Narma, have a look to see if is Razin geared at all. I'll put a little bit of gear on Razin so that he can actually do his job, and then we'll see how she works. But I think she's going to be awesome. The other thing I'm going to do before I get into that is just a quick damage test everywhere else. I think I'll gear her for everywhere else first, do a damage test, see what she's like in terms of multipliers, and then we'll do Clan Boss after. Now, just before we get into that, I did promise that I would do another account takeover giveaway on this video here. Patch 2.3 Halloween event. You had a chance to win a takeover, win free takeover. Basically, you needed to comment on this video, and one of those comments would get you a free takeover. So we're going to do that draw right now. I was meant to do it on my Twitch last night, but it was mental, so we didn't have time. We're going to filter out duplicate users, and we'll see how many comments we get on that video. 8, 9, 1,000, 1,200. Loads of comments. We've got loads of people interested in this. 1,613 unique commenters on that video. We're going to hit the random comment generator and see. Look how many ads are flopping up. See who wins. Ben Wood. Yep, going for the fusion. Would really like to get Annie. I really wanted Annie as well, Ben. So let's take a screenshot of that. I will ping this on my Discord and I'll ping it on my community page on YouTube. But congratulations, Ben. You just won a free account takeover. I will be getting in contact with you. Or, in fact, you should be getting in contact with me. Don't worry, though. There's a fail-safe for all those people that are going to try and cheat their way to pretending you're Ben. I will be able to tell if you are or not. So, let's get back into the actual video. Congratulations, Ben. Narma the return. How are we going to gear her? So, for damage, let's just check. Everything, I think, scales from attack. Yes, yes, yes. It's all single target stuff, so the chances of you building this champion out for damage are slim. But we like to do it. We'd just like to see what our multipliers are like. And she does have good base stats, like across the board, but mainly strong for a clan boss. One of the reasons why it's good to see what someone's multipliers are like are things like if you're running in an unkillable team, and I am going to show that at the end of the video, then you want to see if she's going to kick out some base damage. Okay then, so what have we done? We've got her in Savage gear just because that's the way to do your best kind of damage output. I've put her in crit damage gloves, attack chest, attack boots. She's super slow. This is not a realistic build. I just want to see if she does hit at all on her abilities. Mainly really to test for people that want to build an unkillable team. Is she going to do some good damage? We don't have the unkillable team on this account, but I do have another account I can showcase it working on at the end of this video. Okay, so she's neutral affinity for dragon. All we're going to do here is just test to see if she's actually got some damage. So we're going to throw out the decreased defense and weaken. Let's just speed us up, get us going. Improve our attack. That's how she gets her damage. We're just going to throw decreased defense and weaken out on this hoarding. Nice. Try and just sleep everyone else. Right, okay, so A3 first. So this is the poison sensitivity and poison. I mean, she's going to be good for dragon anyway. The same way Frozen Banshee is because of this move here. What was that? 84k hit. It's a reasonable hit considering what else it's doing. Let's keep cycling through abilities. Let's chop some turn meter here. Oh, it's killed him. Okay, let's come back in and do the A2. Do an 84k A3. Let's see what this A2 does. This one is a decrease attack move, and it's that heal as well. If you've got poisons out there, a 78k hit, which is again reasonable. Actually reasonable, but nothing insane. So it feels like her multipliers are okay. Nothing too crazy. I'll just try her A1 as well. But I didn't expect him to be crazy. Someone actually told me they were crazy. I didn't expect them to be crazy because her kit is so well balanced in terms of like debuffs. Normally, if you've got a lot of debuffs, you do less damage. So let's try the A1, which is just a chance to increase debuffs, and 67k. So all good levels of damage, nothing insane. So she will be fine to come through Dragon for you. You probably just want to build a high accuracy, high speed, rotate her abilities as quick as you can. The main thing you're going to be using her for in Dragon is not killing the waves, it's actually killing the boss. So those poisons are huge for Dragon. Same way Frozen Banshee is right now. Used for exactly the same thing. In terms of other boss fights, it's not really her place. Like, she can come in and do a job. Like Frozen Poisons on the spider. Yes, decrease attack on the spider. But she's all single target stuff. I think she's an out and out clan boss champion. Certainly not an arena champion. I think she's out and out clan boss, but she is a specialist. A bit like Vizier's a specialist. A bit like Frozen Banshee. She can play in Dragon, but she's a specialist for clan boss. So let's build her into this clan boss team now. Get her into a right setup, and then let's see how she does. Right, so I've thrown a bit of gear on Razin. He's got now the right speed, high crit, good at defense, good accuracy. We've got Narma now as a kind of high defense. Look how easy you can get a defense up. Very good. 175 accuracy, which is fine for Nightmare Clan Boss. 100% crit, 37k health. You might even decide to put more into health and less into crit to get that heal going. So I've actually got her in crit rate gloves. Probably because of what we just seen there on damage, you might decide that that's not the way to go. You might decide that HP gloves is better for more healing. But I'm going to try and get a bit of damage out of her as well. 4.3k defense to keep her alive for a ton of time. She's 174 speed, which is right for Nightmare. We've got Skull Crusher in the team who's at 173 speed. And we've got Sepulchre who's running on like a 4 for 3. Hopefully that's speed tuned right. I've not changed it. And we've got Warlord. So I'm going to drop Frozen Banshee from this run, who is normally in the team, and see how we get on. Quite interested to see how we do. So the team beforehand, with a very fast Sifi actually, was doing a good kind of 24 million. So Sifi is like 320 odd speed, so she might be carrying this team a bit. We should have this here. Drop this, do this, do this. And let's see how we get on. I think Sepulchre might be throwing the speed out just a touch because it doesn't look to me like it's the right speed tune, but we'll see how this goes. We do have Warlord, though, to protect us in terms of block debuffs here. And obviously, he's going to be extending as well as Narma extending. So potentially, you've got a ton of debuff extension going on. So we get poison sensitivity and poisons out now. Look at that. I mean, that is just like filling the debuff bar early. And then with the counterattack, you get to extend some of those debuffs again if it hits. So Warlord didn't hit. She did though, and she's extended a bunch of debuffs. It's actually solid. It's a solid skill, that one. So we're going to get debuff extension from Warlord as well. This team could end up being quite nutty actually for Nightmare. We get the decreased attack on. We don't even need it because we've got Sepulchre doing it. She can do it though. She can keep it going, especially with her own debuff extension. That's a good kind of thing to look out for. And then we just kind of run it through. And this is like, I mean, it's an old school clan boss team in essence, but a good one. And I think she's going to be really strong for it. So we can get up the heal and block debuffs so that we don't, we don't get block debuffs here as well. I think I'll do that now, so it's probably when it's meant to go. And then we can hit auto from there. So I'm going to let this run through, see what sort of damage we do. But in terms of like an old school clan boss team, I think she comes in as one of the best, especially because of that A1 extending debuffs as well as crazy poisons. Has she got enough in her kit to keep poisons stacked the whole time? I think pretty much yes. Pretty much I think she does. Or maybe there'll be the odd time where they drop off, but not for long. So yeah, I'm going to let it run through. I'll show you the damage when we get towards the end. But I think awesome champion for Clan Boss. I love it. I love her kit. Okay, guys, we're coming up now, turn 25. The Clan Boss hits hard at this point, as we know. Anything over turn 20 starts to really hurt. And And we know beforehand we were doing like 20, I think it was about 22 million. We've just seen the chunky heal coming in there from Narma, which is nice. It's not enough. It's definitely not enough unless you've got some other healing mechanic. And in this team, we don't. A couple of the guys, Skull Crusher and Sepulchre, have got healing in their kits. Not anyone else, though. So we're relying on Warlord and Narma as our healers, which probably is not enough. I was actually just interested to see how it works. Obviously, Skull Crusher does do the ally protection, which means that he's taking more damage than anyone else. And he is in Lifesteal Gear, so he's making the most of that. You can see, guys, the debuff bar is pretty much full the whole time. So we're keeping those up nicely. 10k heal there from Narma. It's decent. We are starting to take some big damage now, though. Turn 29. But yeah, pretty much she is exactly what I was hoping for. Really, really solid clan boss champion. Very, very cool kit for it. Sepulchre coming up clutch there with the protection from any damage at all. And you can just see, I mean, it's kind of just running like clockwork. So, you know, we're actually in a position here that I think she's enough to move this team up to Ultra Nightmare, if Nathan wanted to do that. But I think we're going to be hitting closer to 26, 27 mil. Which is pretty awesome. And it would be, so if I was manual in this, I would be swapping some of my abilities around here. So I'd be bringing the Warlord shield up to this point, to the AoE second point, rather than the first point that we've got here. So I would tune it slightly differently to what we've got here, but I don't want to interfere because I'm trying to do a comparison to where we were before, and I'm pretty certain Nathan was running on auto before. But yeah, pretty awesome. Awesome champion. So what I will do now, we'll let this run through. We're almost finished anyway. And then I'll just show her running in an unkillable team and see on someone else's account and just kind of see how that looks. Because I think with the unkillable meta, you know, most people, if they can run an unkillable, they do. And rightly so, because it's the strongest type of team out there right now. Yeah, you can just see the speed tune's a bit off here. But there's not many champions with poison sensitivity, and it's a really strong debuff. We're already at 28 million, which is really solid damage. I love a kit. A kit is through and through clan boss. Through and through clan boss. For unkillables, you don't need this heal, so a health means nothing in an unkillable team. But you still need the poison sense. And in fact, you don't need decreased attack as well, which is a shame. But the amount of poison, the poison sensitivity, and debuff extension you get, I think she still would favour, you know, quite a few of them out there right now. Certainly Frozen Banshee. I think she's better than Frozen Banshee for that. The 30 million. It's actually gone on for longer than I thought. It would turn 39. Considering we got no out-and-out healing here, we do have shields from Warlord. We do have the occasional heal from Narma. That's it. And we are rocking our way through this clan boss fight. This is probably the first death now, I'd imagine. Yeah. But yeah, this team, if this team was actually speed tuned and everyone was rebuilt in the way that I built them, then this, I think it's a one key team here, which means you're ready to move up to Ultra Nightmare. So she's gone down. Let's just get the final damage numbers. How long are you fellas going to stay alive? There we go. 33.68 million. Narma doing the 14 mil. You'd expect it. She's doing the poison of the team. Razin coming in 8.7. Really solid run. So I'm going to get into an unkillable team and let's see how that goes. So we're just going to run her through Dragon with that same build there that I just run in Clan Boss before we jump onto that unkillable team. Because this is probably for me the only dungeon where I would rate her highly. You know, everything's single target, so it's not going to be a finite ability. And yeah, I mean, basically, you know, she's not got any turn meter stuff. It's not going to be Spider. So pretty much she's going to be out and out Dragon and Clan Boss. And what you'll find here is she will be strong right the way up till... she'll be strong for the actual Dragon fight, but for the waves, she's kind of just doing, you know, a base job, which is reasonable. Okay, very similar to what a Frozen Banshee does now, but slightly better for the actual dragon fight. And this team is so reliant on Seer's damage, it's actually crazy. So you can see here, she has a little bit of an impact, but not a lot for the actual wave. Hopefully we get decreased defense here on some of these. We didn't. Do get weaken everywhere. Decreased defense is important for Seer to get a damage off. So she's probably only going to kill the 2 with decreased defense on when she gets her ability off. Arbiter decided to wake everyone up that was asleep. Come on, Seer, pull the trigger. She's actually pretty tanky, which is cool. Here we go. Most of them take some good damage. Arbiter's waking everyone up again. And then we're going to get onto the actual dragon. And I whiz it through to the dragon, so I'm falling asleep here. Okay then, so we get onto the actual dragon part of the fight. What's she doing here? She's bringing decreased attack, which is going to help you a lot when you get your... when the dragon's actually coming after you. And then we're waiting for the rotation of that poison. There's a decreased attack, 3 turns, which means it's going to last for a decent chunk of time. Obviously, our A1 has got a chance to extend debuffs as well, like that. And then we're just waiting for those poisons to kick in, which should be the next turn. And the poisons are what is going to help you beat this dragon. So 3 poisons all kicking in with that sort of, 2 or 3 turns, plus her chance to extend it on her A1 as well. Once you get the first one off, it should be job done. So very, very good champion here. Definitely like an MVP for dragon. Up there with the best really for kicking up dragon damage for a normal account. Not a speed run, but for a normal account. Especially if you've got like a reset champion. So if you are running something like a renegade that resets that ability even quicker, basically you get 6 poisons out in no time at all, which is huge. And that's job done. Okay, so let's get on to the final part of the video. Okay, unfortunately I couldn't access the actual account which I wanted to show this on, but I can show you a screen of an account trying to run this Narma in an unkillable team. So basically he's got here a Batman Eater, which is on my unkillables tab. If you go into my champion tier list, there's a bunch of different unkillables you can run. Trouble with Narma here is she doesn't have decreased defense and weaken herself, whereas if you're running this with Fane does bring decreased defense and weaken. I actually think Narma would be better in a 2-man Eater with Narma, with someone like a Fane, and with one other champion. So you're just running the double man Eater comp, not the Batman Eater, and I think you get more damage out, because losing decreased defense and weaken when you're running 50 turns is a lot of damage to lose on your Wallmaster procs. But this does show she's very viable for an unkillable team, as I thought she would be. So yeah, absolutely good opportunity for you guys that have pulled her and you're looking for someone to put in that either budget man-eater with a painkeeper and a man-eater, or double man-eater is probably as good as it gets, unless you can run this style team. So all of those different comps are on my champion tier list, as well as my ratings for this champion. So on my champion tier list, this is always in my video descriptions, guys. I've rated Narma as a 6 for Clan Boss, 5 for Dragon, but pretty low everywhere else. So she comes quite low in my rankings, albeit she's an MVP here. That's how my tier list works. Just look at the area you're trying to beat. Total number is not necessarily the champion overall, really, because it's more about where you're going to fit them in. And then the Unkillable Teams tab here just enables you to see what different ones you could run. So she would work really well in a budget ally man-eater. She'd work really well in just a straight budget man-eater. A slow double man-eater, I think, would be probably like one of the best. So, guys, look, Narma, the returned, great Clan Boss champion, great Dragon champion. That's probably about all she's going to do, but I actually really like her kit. Hope you enjoyed the video, guys. I'll catch you in a video soon.